Hey guys, welcome back. It's Shinji here. Shinji does YouTube, or where the hell I'm gonna come up with a name. This is gonna be my permanent name. Before I start off this video real quick, I just want to say thank you guys so much for 80 plus subscribers. It meant a lot to me, and sorry for the lack of uploads. I've just been having anxiety, all that, mental illness type shit. But anyways, today I got a pretty interesting story time that does not suck ass. However, it is a horror story. Before I start off this video real quick, I'd just like to say, yeah, this story isn't really those that are, that are lighthearted. If you can't really, handle corn, all that type of stuff too well, then I recommend you click off this story time and watch another video or something. If you can, stay tuned. You're gonna be horrified. Anyways, this story time takes place like back in like the middle of my my sophomore year. And I was like, my life was starting to become better. I was starting to get out of my shell. I was making better friends. I wasn't really being a VR chat degenerate that much anymore, which I'll have another story time for that. No, at this time, I had this friend. We're just gonna call him Andy. Now, Andy, he was just a huge corn addict, and me and him would just always make like really sus jokes of each other, like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat your ass," and he was like, "Bet," or like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna suck you." I'm like, "Bet." Just all that like gay shit type jokes. Basically, it's just the type of jokes that we made. Cause that's just our humor. However, this was the day I found out that Andy is somewhat of a creep. No, he's a creep. He's a creep. We're just gonna say that. So it's a Friday night. We have like another winter break basically at this time. And my friend Andy was like, "Yo, dude, can I come over to your house for a sleepover?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." My dad wasn't gonna be home till late. My mom wasn't gonna be home either, and it was just seemed like a great opportunity for a sleepover. However, things and plans, well, they changed. So me and my boy Andy are walking home. Well, he's not even my boy, but you get the whole point. So we're walking home, and next thing you know, my dad calls me, and my dad's like, "Yo, listen, I'm home early," and I was like, "Shit." And the sleepover is already messed up because, well, my dad is pretty strict whenever I have friends over. No, I'm not saying like he's a terrible dad or he's like super strict or he's like, "Oh, you can only play video games 2 hours a day." He's just, he kind of treats the house somewhat of like a prison, really, whenever I have friends over because he's just busy. He doesn't want to get annoyed, all that stuff. And it can be frustrating, but you gotta understand, like, he's working all the time and like he needs some space, which I respect that. However, there are times where he could just be a complete asshole, and times where I am the asshole. So basically, we had somewhat of a mediocre relationship, and based on how my dad sounded, he sounded exhausted, and I was just like, ugh. He was not gonna be cool, and well, we get home to the house. My boy Andy is like trying to like vape or something. I keep telling him like, dude, stop. No, I never really did drugs in my life, and I just don't see why I would do drugs in general. But I had a couple friends that would. Thankfully, they're cool about it, chill with it. Cause school I go to is pretty damn chill when it comes to that type of stuff. The only bad things are just fighting. But back to the story. So me and Andy, we get home. Me and my dad, Andy and my dad, they meet. After that, we go upstairs. We play some Castle Crashers for a bit, and my room's like pretty damn small, especially with this huge ass table I have in my room. Which I plan on getting rid of it because one, I don't really like this desk I have, and two, it's just not really stable. So, anyways, me and Andy get bored. We decided to go downstairs, play some Minecraft. My dad's down, but he just didn't really seem to care. It was more like he was just on his phone, scrolling, and all of a sudden, Andy starts acting really sus. He starts making some really sus jokes, and he starts bringing up hentai all of a sudden. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go beat that some hentai before I go to bed." And I was like, "Dude, Andy, chill, bro. I literally have my dad down here. Like, chill out, man." And he was like, "Nah, I don't care." So basically, I'm just playing Minecraft. I'm somewhat getting uncomfortable. My dad's starting to get pissed all of a sudden. He like telling me like, "Hey, chill the hell out," which I get it. Like, yeah, my dad can't really scream at my friend, but like screaming at your kid right in front of their friend like that, like, you better calm the hell down. That's just a shitty parent thing to do. It is. So now my sleepover with Andy is just being eh. First of all, Andy is making me somewhat uncomfortable, and he's pissing off my dad, and my dad's just being somewhat of an ass, and well, things will get worse from there. We get bored, we decided to watch a comic got killed. My dad goes out for a bit, so we were alone. We had pizza and everything downstairs, and we're eating some pizza, watching this anime, and there's like this lewd scene that pops up, and my dad comes in, lead scene pops up, and my boy's like, "Ooh, you're gonna start pulling on that G chord there, pal." I'm like, "Andy, stop." And he starts like explaining how he's gonna like play with his hot dog and everything. Oh, my dad's down there, so I skipped the scene because like one, it would just be hella embarrassing. I don't really think my dad would care if a lewd scene like that popped up in a show I'm watching because I'm basically almost an adult at this point. But based on how my friend is, he just get mad at my friend. Well, at me basically, but you get the whole point. So I skip it over quickly, and he just starts getting even more sus and just makes me even more uncomfortable. And it just gets to the point where a few hours go by, and it's just me and Andy. We're left in the room entirely. My parents are upstairs asleep, and my parents are just done. They want him out of the house. The dog's down here with us, and all of a sudden, Andy gets a bit. Andy just goes from like 100% to 200% way worse. And this is gonna get really disturbing. So Andy starts acting up with my dog, trying to like seduce him or some shit. And I'm like, Andy, you're being a fucking weirdo, dude. And he's like, nah, I don't care. I'm gonna molest this. And then he just says, the hard R, and he just starts calling my dog the hard R, being racist to our dog, which I don't know how being racist to a dog works, but he keeps saying, like, oh yeah, I'm racist. And he just calls my dog the hard R. And my dog is just sitting there terrified. And at this point, I was actually really pissed off of Andy at this point. Like, I wanted him out of my house entirely. He was making me uncomfortable, my dog. He even like said something pretty sus to my sister, and that made me really uncomfortable. So he just keeps being sus. Thankfully, my dog did not get touched or anything like that. Thankfully, he just got called a couple slurs and stuff like that. But anyways, fast forward later, General Esdef, the main antagonist from Akame Got Killed, comes up, and me and him are both pretty tired. I'm laying on the floor, he's laying on the couch, and all of a sudden, he decides to whack his G cord on my couch. And I'm not making this shit up either. He decides to go at it because he couldn't control himself over seeing General Esdef at that point. Nah, he's into big titty blue hair women, bro. He's into that for some reason, and he just couldn't resist. So he's whacking his G cord on my couch. I don't know if he just did it in his pants or it just directly lay on my couch, but he just did that in front of me, and I'm just watching him horrified entirely. And it was just, he even paused like the show, which that was even more disturbing. And after that, I just couldn't sleep that night. After that, I'm just laying there horrified, don't know what to do. And well, thankfully, Andy goes to sleep, he passes out, and I secretly go on my computer, I play Dying Light 2 for a bit. And after that, I stay up all night. Next day, he wakes up, he goes to Turkey Hill. I beat his ass in Mortal Kombat later, and he just leaves the house. And my parents and I had a talk about that. And after that, I've always been pretty sensitive on who I hung out with, because I felt hella disturbed after that. So, yeah, that's basically the story of how I had a friend that whacked it on my couch. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this story, let me know in the comment section down below. Anyways, this is Shinji signing off. Peace.